payments and mortgage using Excel. So what I've done here is I have the APR. You can set this to whatever you want, the time to whatever you want, though generally it's either 15 or 30, but it could be whatever you want. The math is going to be the same. Let's do a 30 year. Okay, so we can also change the APR to whatever value might interest you, but for instance, let's say that we were willing to pay $800 a month for our mortgage payment with an APR of 1.7 and a time of 30 years. How can we calculate the mortgage? Well, we can use the PV function, which stands for present value. Okay, now for the APR, we're going to pay this monthly, so I click the APR and I divide that by 12. Okay, now I'm going to pay that monthly, so I need to times that by 12. This is a 30-year loan, but I'm going to set it up as a live cell, so that would be cell D3. Then we have to put a minus sign because we're paying on something, and that's going to be cell B2. Hit enter, and there we go. Now we have the mortgage payment right here. We have whatever price that we want to set that to, the APR and the time. Now that this is all live cell, I can change this value to whatever I want, and the loan will change. So if I change it to 700, this goes down accordingly. If I change it to 500, that goes down accordingly. So whatever you want to change it to, $200, 56,000. Okay. Now the APR, what about this? I could change this as well. Maybe we're not so lucky as to get a 1.7. Maybe we get a 9% loan. So you can see how this is going to go up. So you can play around with this. You can also switch this to a 15-year or whatever, however many years you want to pay this off, and you can see how that changes. So that's fairly easy. Now, what if you want to go the other way? What if you have a specific house in mind and you want to go where you find the payments? Okay, so knowing the APR, the time, and the mortgage, what would you do for the payments? So I'll set that to 0. I'll delete that. I'm going to go back to, let's say, 2%, 30 year. Okay, so let's say, oh, I have a house in mind and it's worth $1 million. Okay, so I'm going to pay this $1 million at 2% APR for 30 years. Let's do equal sign, and then PMT is the function you want. PMT stands for payment. Open parentheses, click your APR, divide that by 12 because we're paying it monthly, comma, 12 times the 30 years that we're paying on it, comma, minus sign, since we're going to be paying on this. Click on $1 million, close parentheses, hit enter, and there you go. You're going to pay around $3,696 a month on this $1 million, but of course maybe you don't need $1 million home. Maybe you need a $250,000 home. So there you go. You're going to pay $924 at this APR. Of course, this does not include taxes, and it does not include insurance, and it does not include all of the other wonderful things that come with home ownership, but this is just the mortgage itself, okay? So I hope that helps somebody. Maybe it's you. All right, have a good night.